Hello and welcome to the Nordic Finance YouTube channel. So, portfolio update for the 5K to 100K bull cycle challenge. So, there's been a lot of exciting things happening in the cryptoscape recently, and there's been a little bit of sentiment that the bull run is over. Do I think that? Well, not necessarily, and we're going to go over that in detail in this video. So, kind of pulling back, we have a 1-year chart of this portfolio I started just as kind of like a learning portfolio for myself, and now I'm using it as the challenge portfolio for this YouTube video. And we're going to go over what is in the portfolio, how that's changed since the last video, if at all, and what I actually think is going to happen for the bull run overall, and with all the what people are kind of calling market manipulation happening. We're going to go over all that in detail. So we topped out kind of as I was on vacation at a pretty good percentage return from what we actually started. Where's our 5K mark? Well, it's a little above, but we'll say there. We actually got a pretty good percentage return, but we were on vacation and I wasn't actually able to execute any trades. So we kind of rode out everything that happened on the downtrend. So what happened on the downtrend and what kind of caused this crazy dip from being up about 30% to being back to essentially, where we started? And it's saying our available balance is $3,000. That's because we have, about $1,800 worth of Ethereum locked up in an ETH2 smart contract at 6% return, just kind of as part of the portfolio. This portfolio isn't really built around actively trading. Ideally, we sell the top when we're not on vacation and distracted, but learning experiences are to be had. That's why it's a challenge. If we had sold the top and had a nice little bit of cash at the bottom to re-enter, our portfolio would already be at $10,000 to $15,000, which would be 2 to 3 times what we had started with, and on our way to hitting that 100K mark. Now, with that learning experience in the past, and we kind of still a little hurt about it, because with the whole idea of doing the challenge in the bull run, you got to do it quickly and you got to do it intelligently, and this was not necessarily either of those things. But, as an investor, you can't be too hard on yourself. So it is just a learning experience, and we're going to do better next time. And hopefully this will be educational to all of you guys, that locking in those gains when you see prices starting to get a little overextended is a great idea, because in this downtrend, we had the creator of Ethereum transferring half of his Shiba to a charity wallet, which was essentially people called it like a pump and dump or a sellout on his part. I think it's actually a very charitable and noble action. Giving large amount of money to charity is nothing to be angry about, and the crypto community can be kind of toxic in that regard. But whatever, moving on. We also have Elon Musk doing Elon Musk things. And what I mean by that is with the delisting of Bitcoin for the purchasing of Tesla, combined with his general sentiment towards Bitcoin seemingly changing in somewhat of a 180 pretty rapidly. He's talking about how it's not energy efficient. And to those of you who didn't necessarily know where that sentiment change came from, there was a problem with the supply chain of a Chinese coal mine that produced 30% of the coal reserves for the local area, and the Bitcoin infrastructure hash rate dropped by the same 30%, which that correlation kind of led people to ask the question, does 30% of Bitcoin's infrastructure run on Chinese coal? Which is a good question to be asking. Now, is it a question that changes the sentiment overall for a lot of people when it comes to Bitcoin? No, not necessarily, because for the same reason Bitcoin can be run on coal, It actually incentivizes green energy because if you have large solar farms or wind farms or oceanic tidal turbine farms in remote areas, and you actually want to power them, with green, sustainable sources, but you don't have a way of offloading the power effectively, whether that be through batteries or power lines or what have you, you can actually just mine Bitcoin on site and offshore or offload that Bitcoin much more effectively than you could by routing power lines. So that's just something to note, and it's why my sentiment overall about the bull market hasn't really changed, because a lot of the main factors that kind of caused this sell-off are somewhat superficial, I would say. Now, the other one that's a little less superficial is we have the main creator of the Binance Smart Chain, or the CEO of the Binance Smart Chain, under investigation. I don't know the details on that, so I won't speak on it super in depth, but what I do know is that the Binance Smart Chain has a fairly large market cap, but overall, I'm not overly concerned about that. So that kind of leads me to, where are we going to go? What's the price target? Where will I be taking profits in the future to avoid these types of mistakes? So on and so forth. Now, I still think we are on track to have a bull run throughout the summer. If we kind of go back to last year, we're still not even on the chart, And if we go to last year's crypto bull run, the altcoin season in the summer, that's still 3 months out from where a year ago, comparatively, it's still 3 months out from where we are now. And this first major pullback here, whether or not you want to call it market manipulation, I don't necessarily think it is. Whether you want to call it, entering a bear market, I don't necessarily think it is. Whatever you want to call it, we've kind of seen these major retraces before, and just looking at what I saw and went through last year in this kind of learning portfolio that I've set up for crypto, if I was to call a 50% retrace at this point, the end of the run would have been, pretty preemptive. And it's hard to see here just because the numbers are, smaller, so they're kind of comparatively diluted on the graph. But there was days that had 20 and 30% pullbacks here that I was not sure if that was normal for the market, because I was pretty new to it. And with a combination of a lot of things happening at once here, with, kind of TikTok hype and dog coin frenzy happening, a big market correction like this can actually be seen as a good thing, and it can shake out a lot of the more tentative, scared money. And from here, we could see a large institutional scoop up and a larger move upwards. A lot of people on crypto Twitter are talking about what's called the next leg up, which is kind of like the big deal. They're talking about the next price target being what happens when the cycle recovers and Bitcoin passes that previous all-time high. A lot of people's price target from there is 100,000. So real quickly, we're going to actually go through what's in the portfolio. Oh, here, this is just the watch list. Pull up the actual portfolio itself. So here are the percentages. Now, the main strategy here is this Ethereum 2 isn't getting sold. And then we have this Bitcoin here. This Bitcoin is going to be sold at the tops from now on, as opposed to just getting held throughout. If I had realized the gains at 64K, I would have been doing a little better, and we're stacking more sats. That is the strategy here. Now we have kind of the rest of the portfolio mainly being in Ethereum Classic, Synthetics, Origin Protocol, kind of being the main ones. There's not a whole lot in there. Ethereum Classic is pretty much the main other one. We're looking to rotate all of this money when these start to recover to their all-time highs. We're going to be cashing out and trading it into Bitcoin. I'm trying to get away from using USD and focusing more on Bitcoin pairs as opposed to trading against USD. But this is a really small, simple portfolio. I actually have a little bit more time and effort put into my Coinbase Pro portfolio. But for the sake of the challenge, we're kind of sticking to this portfolio here. And we can actually see here that there is a setup $50 every month put into the portfolio. So there's going to be $600 a year extra, but that was started at around here. So, there's only been one deposit. It actually did automatically buy the dip, which was kind of fun. But yeah, we're going to be essentially starting from the 5K starting point and working our way to 100K. The challenge is still on track, guys. The bull market's still here. Mass adoption still, could be a couple months to a couple years away. Either way, crypto market's going to grow. Bull market's going to happen. Big corrections are going to happen. But, had I wish I had sold the top here? Yeah, of course. Am I glad I didn't sell the bottom? Yeah, I am. I'm glad that at least I realized that if I sell the top, I shouldn't sell the bottom. Learning experience, guys. Hopefully this is educational for you. And I know it's been a while since the last video. Like I said, I was on vacation. We're going to try and get that content more regularly, like it was going for a while there. So if you made it to the end, drop a comment down in the bottom what you guys are holding in your crypto portfolio. And thank you so much for the support, and we'll see you guys in the next one.